John Bolton book investigation. So the DOJ is investigating this book. Diners interrupted by rude, ignorant, loathsome, lonely, unhappy people. Yeah. Oh, and a megaphone is involved. CNBC host calls Nancy Pelosi crazy. Hannity and Dobbs of Fox News to be deposed in Sethridge lawsuit. And lastly, LeBron James challenged to put his money where his mouth isn't. Welcome back to the Daily Facts. So let's get into it, right? DOJ launches probe into Bolton book for possible classified information disclosures. Now, just as an FYI, there's all sorts of information that is, so there's classified, there's top secret, so on and so forth. So classified is information. It means information which, for reasons of national security, is specifically designated by a United States government agency for limited or restricted dissemination or distribution. Okay, that's 550 U.S. Code 834. Classified information, just so we get that context. All right, so let's get into this. This is the Hill, but you know what? I don't care who it's from. They're going to give you some truth, and I'm going to comment on it and expose them if they're giving us a bunch of nonsense. So the Department of Justice, DOJ, has launched a criminal investigation into whether former White House National Security Advisor, John Bolton, illegally disclosed classified information in his memoir that was released earlier this year, the Hill has confirmed. I don't know what it is with these people and these books. You know, it's like right now, Woodward has a book out. Peter Strzok has a book out. This crazy John Bolton has a book out. And, you know, it's right before an election. Is that suspect? And they're trying to give a narrative, right? They're trying to push a narrative. And oftentimes it means nothing. You have to sit back and critically think about what they're saying. Okay, so the agency has convened a grand jury and subpoenaed Bolton's publisher, Simon & Schuster, for records related to communications surrounding the tell-all book, the room where it happened. The New York Times first reported. So right there, he's trying to plant a seed. The title in and of itself is ridiculous. The room where it happened, the room where what happened. It could be the room where a birthday party happened. We don't know what that means. It's just a statement. But it's coming from, some people believe, is a government official, an important person. I mean, he was a government official, John Bolton, at one time, but, you know, whatever. Sometimes I wonder why President Trump brings these people in. I mean, President Trump is a highly intelligent man. You know, I would venture to guess his IQ is probably around the 145 range. Now, he's older, so it may be a little lower, but 145 is genius level. And you don't get to where you are like President Trump if you're not highly intelligent and capable, right? I mean, he has $1 billion business. He had a successful television show. He ran for president the first time and won. I mean, he beat out all of these politicians that have been in politics for years, and he won. So that's a very smart, savvy person. And I just wonder why he brings in these kooky people, but he may have a reason for that. I don't know, because he is, again, very intelligent, but I somewhat digress. The formal probe makes a dramatic escalation over the book, which the White House sought to temporarily block from publication earlier this year, arguing it contained classified information. Bolton's book also painted the Trump administration in an unflattering light, details of infighting and the president's foreign policy. The DOJ declined to comment when asked to confirm the investigation. Okay. Well, I think we get the idea here. Let's read this last paragraph, or second to last. A week prior to the book's publication release, news outlets, including The Hill, published details about the book that included explosive allegations that President Trump asked Chinese leader Xi Jinping to help him get a competitive edge in the upcoming presidential race against former Vice President Joe Biden, the then presumptive Democratic nominee, by advocating that Beijing make more purchases of U.S. soybeans and wheat to help his electoral chances with U.S. farmers. At this time, Bolton's publisher slammed the lawsuit in a statement, calling it the latest in a long-running series of efforts by the administration to quash publication of a book it deems unflattering to the president. Well, I would say it has classified information in it, and we just read the definition of classified. We're not supposed to see that. Us common folk aren't supposed to see it without heavy redactions, if that were the case, which it's not. So there you have it. That is Bolton and his troubles. And he's in trouble, in my humble opinion. He's in trouble. Okay, this article, I mean, this picture speaks 1,000 words, right? This person is harassing them. It looks like they're almost done with their meal, or they're done with their meal, I would say. And they're just ready to leave, and then this person comes in and does what they do, which is ridiculous. So let's get into the article. This is from the Daily Caller. Police: 3 protesters charged after harassing diners in viral video. Oh, this is beautiful. They were charged. I hope she was one of them. All right, let's get into the article. Pittsburgh police have charged 3 people who were captured on video accosting diners at a restaurant during an anti-police protest, along with an additional incident at a nearby McDonald's, numerous sources reported. Sean Green, who goes by Lorenzo Rulli, Kenneth McDonald, and Monique Kraft were charged Monday for their involvement in the harassment, according to Pittsburgh police, WPXI reported. A video that captured the confrontations is alleged to have shown McDowell using a megaphone to scream obscenities at diners sitting outside a restaurant. McDowell was also identified as the individual who accosted an employee at a downtown McDonald's. All right, let's take a listen to this. This is ridiculous. You see him already? He's a loser. That make up a sport. Ain't shit about you, G. Be your authentic self. You're a fucking fool. You're an embarrassment. If you be a fucking racist, this is how you're treated. Put the glasses on. Okay, I find it ironic that he's yelling in a megaphone that you're an embarrassment, when in reality, in actuality, he's the embarrassment. But I like how the woman in the video is completely ignoring him, which causes him to turn away. Play it again and you'll see she's calling someone over so that they can get a picture together, and she's completely ignoring him, which is what I would do. I love it. All right. Let's move on. This guy is the same person right here who was just megaphoning those people there that ignored them. So now he went into a McDonald's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And let's just take a listen. It's ridiculous. Who did this? 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 What is the purpose of harassing people in McDonald's? McDonald's. Okay, well, we're not, whatever. Rulli swore at diners, specifically an elderly couple, and gave them a middle finger. Oh, how sweet. I know his parents are proud. In the video, a protester is seen standing in front of diners saying F12, an anti-police slogan, and F the white people who built the system against mine. Wow, I'm not even going to finish this. Rulli then screamed through an open window at the front of a restaurant, according to the complaint. All right, so Rulli's charges include disorderly conduct and criminal mischief. Another protester, who was identified as Kraft and identifies as neither male nor female, is seen in the video wearing a Nazi Lives Don't Matter shirt, chugging an elderly couple's beer. I think we're done here. So they're being charged. They're being charged. And I say good. Charge all of them. Okay, now we're moving on to, well, an interesting article. CNBC host Jim Cramer calls Pelosi crazy Nancy to her face during interview. All right, let's listen to this before we get into the article.
Between you and I think Secretary Mnuchin, I mean, what deal can we have at Crazy Nancy? I'm sorry, that was the president. I have such reverence for the office. I would never use that term, but it is
but
hard.
You just did.
Oh, come
but
on.
You just did.
You know what I mean.
Okay. So I don't know. He's trying to play like he's joking in the video, but I mean, it's not going to fare well for Nancy Pelosi. I mean, somebody has called you crazy.
These people are crazy.
Which, I mean, Jim Cramer, some might think he's crazy, right? Let's read some of this. CNBC host Jim Cramer called House Speaker Nancy Pelosi crazy Nancy. We just saw it to her face during an interview on Tuesday morning, a taunt for the California liberal typically used by President Trump. The outlandish host, and he is, of Mad Money and former hedge fund manager was interviewing Pelosi on stalled negotiations on a fourth coronavirus stimulus package when the insult appeared to slip out. That didn't slip out. That was done intentionally. You don't call the Speaker of the House crazy accidentally. And it, the unfortunate thing is he was talking about the stimulus, which, she's a Democrat and they try to pretend like they're for the people. Meanwhile, they're holding up this package, the stimulus package that could help the American people. So, it's hypocrisy at its best, right? So, yeah, I mean, the story here is Nancy Pelosi being called crazy. That's the story. And there's nothing more to say here. All right, let's look at a little LeBron James here. So LASD sheriff challenges LeBron James to match reward money in manhunt. Now, we know he's not going to do that. I did a piece on LeBron James and how he claims that Black people are terrified of the police. It's ludicrous on its face because Black people are the ones who call the police the most, if I'm not mistaken. And, he needs to stop talking because he's wealthy. I mean, he's worth several millions. So I think it's an upward of 500 million, 450, 500, somewhere around there. It's a lot of money. Okay, let's put it that way. And he could buy a police department. He could buy a security organization. So let's get into this. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department head Alex Villanueva challenged Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James on Monday to match the reward the department is offering for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the individual who shot two deputies at close range on Saturday. I covered that story. It is out here on the Daily Facts, and you'll find it. Here, I'll take you over there real quick. It's this story here, as you can see right there. Okay, so check it out. So we all know the deputies were ambushed, right? And it's tragic. So the sheriff says, I want to make a challenge to LeBron James. He said, I want you to match that and double that reward because I know you care about law enforcement. So, he's asking LeBron to double the reward. So let's take a look up here. Villanueva challenged the Lakers star to match the reward money that has been put up for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the ambush shooting. According to Villanueva, the amount already pledged by the county is $100,000 plus private pledges of $50,000 and $25,000. Sheriff Villanueva challenged James to double the $175 amount to $350. LeBron James has been a prominent supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, it'll be interesting to see if he puts his money there, not where his mouth is, because I have never known him to, do something like this. So it'll be interesting to see, is he for people being shot and killed, namely sheriffs, or is he not? What kind of excuse is he going to have for not giving the money, or will he give it? Stay tuned and we will find out. We're going to follow this at the Daily Facts. Oh yeah, we're going to see what LeBron James does. All right, this last piece from the Washington Examiner, Fox says Sean Hannity and Lou Dobbs to be deposed in Seth Rich lawsuit. Okay, before we get into this, I want to give some context on Seth Rich, right? And Julian Assange, who plays into this. And you'll see that after you listen to this clip that I'm going to play with Julian Assange being interviewed. And he says some very interesting and peculiar things. So let's play that clip and we'll come back and read through this article.
Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material and often very significant risks. As a 27-year-old works for the DNC, who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. So
that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
No, there's no finding. So
what are you suggesting? What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks, and they become concerned to see things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then?
Don't comment on who our sources are.
But why make the suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington?
Because we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States. I'm suggesting that our sources take risks.
All right. That's interesting, right? What he had to say there. So let's get into this. Fox's Sean Hannity and Lou Dobbs to be deposed in Seth Rich lawsuit. So Fox News host Sean Hannity and Fox Business host Lou Dobbs will be deposed in a legal fight brought by the parents of murdered Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich. They claim the cable news network and two other defendants intentionally inflicted emotional distress upon them by spreading conspiracy theories about their son. The two on-air talents will answer questions under oath next month, according to a recent court filing, which was first reported by the Daily Beast. Just some background on Seth Rich. Rich was murdered at the age of 27 on July 10, 2016, in what authorities say was a botched robbery. Conspiracy theorists seized upon Rich's murder and spread the baseless rumor that he was the source of the stolen Democratic emails obtained by WikiLeaks and that his death was a politically motivated hit job. Now, I'm not going to make any guesses here. I don't know, but I find it interesting what Julian Assange said in that clip. And so this is something that will unfold over time. They're going to be deposed next month, and we'll see what happens. So Fox News published a story written by reporter Malia Zimmerman, which was later retracted, linking Rich's murder with the WikiLeaks emails. The article was not initially subjected to the high degree of editorial scrutiny we require for all our reporting, Fox News said at the time of the retraction. Upon appropriate review, the article was found not to meet those standards and has since been removed. Hannity, who promoted the story on his show, said he retracted nothing in May 2017. Dobbs also promoted Zimmerman's story. Hannity is scheduled to be deposed on October 30th, while Dobbs will take place on October 7th. So there you go. Interesting. The Rich's case against Fox News was previously dropped, but a federal appeals court reinstated it last year. All right, so we'll see. I believe there's more to come. I mean, as you know, Julian Assange, the U.S. is trying to extradite him. And just as an FYI, I did a piece on Julian as well. Let's see, where is that? Where are you? Here it is. Julian Assange extradited. I think that's worth listening to. And I also go through his court case, which was updated on June 2020. So that indictment, I think there's value in it. And this is just part one. There will be other parts. It's fascinating. And to me, it reads like a spy novel. It includes he dropped a ton of information to WikiLeaks, Chelsea Manning. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. It will be worth listening to, I promise.
Thanks for stopping by the Daily Facts. Do like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Bye!